So, we're officially here in the Split Style channel. I am Split Style. This is our very first stream. I'm going to start this tradition by giving you a little taste of the good luck charm that my kids got me. And I have this bear that we got from the Sherlock Holmes Museum in London. So, without further ado, we will start the stream. A little bit about myself. I'm a producer, writer, director of film, TV, radio, and new media. And I'm here right now starting this channel because my family requested it. They want to have some fun as well. So we'll do a little bit of art, we'll do a little bit of, gameplay, we'll do a little bit of karaoke, we'll do a little bit of everything. So let's have some fun, and let's start with Pathfinder Kingmaker. I think what's really cool about Pathfinder Kingmaker is it's a return to something that I've loved for a long time. I started out as a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons, and Pathfinder is an extension of that, a redo of essentially my youth. So I love to play this. I've never played it before, so we're coming in cold and coming in hot. So super excited. Time to play Pathfinder Kingmaker. Alright, first of all, I'd like to comment that this music is super epic. As you can see, I haven't even started a single game yet. What's really cool is that we have opportunities to really enjoy, the craftsmanship brought together by people at Owlcat Games. And, what's really even more amazing to me is the fact that they did this all starting from Kickstarter. And for me, that's awesome. Crowdfunding a game because people want it and people request it. That's what makes it really, truly awesome. So let's get started. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to really take my time and enjoy the story, enjoy the whole playthrough. I'm not an expert, so I will read through everything, maybe throw in a few entertaining voices, and have some fun. So let's read it through. We're not going to go into the second scenario yet because we don't have it. So let's start with the first scenario, the main story. Explore the Stolen Lands, a region that has been contested territory for centuries. Hundreds of kingdoms have risen and fallen in these lands, and now it is time for you to make your mark by building your own kingdom. To do so, you'll need to survive the harsh wilderness and the threat of rival nations, as well as threats within your own court. And yes, Eric the Master, this is a Sherlock Holmes bear. And really proud, like I said in the beginning of the stream, we got it from London, from Baker Street, the famous museum of Sherlock Holmes. Alright, let's continue. Now, this is the part where we select difficulty. Clearly, I don't know much about custom. Clearly, you'd have to select each and every one of these settings individually, and that's not what I want to do. We have a couple options here. We have the story option, which is the damage you suffer from enemies and traps is reduced by 80%. Enemies have significantly decreased power and cannot critically hit you. Your character will not die after suffering a deadly injury. Instead, they'll fall unconscious until the end of the battle. If all your characters fall unconscious, the game is over. Interesting. Well, that's if you just want to view the story and see what's going on. I think the next one is easy. The damage you suffer from enemies and traps is reduced by 60%. Enemies have decreased power and cannot critically hit you. Storm for Hours, thanks for dropping by the chat room. And yes, I'm excited as well. Your character will not die after suffering a deadly injury for the first time. Instead, they'll be afflicted by the Death's Door condition. If a character with this condition suffers a deadly injury, they will die. Resting in a comfortable and safe place, such as Oleg's trading post, removes the Death's Door condition. Your character can still die from an instant death effect energy drain, poison, or other similar condition. If your main character dies, the game is over. If a companion dies, you can resurrect them with Raise Dead or similar spell, an extremely expensive service available to most adventurers. Okay, so resting in a comfortable and safe place, if I recall D&D, that's camping out somewhere to rest and making sure you don't get attacked by monsters at night. Or a safe place, within a town or so forth. Like, I think Oleg's Trading Post is one of these such safe places. So let's go check it out. And, and there's challenging. Your character will suffer full damage from enemies and traps. Enemies will fight at full power and will have the usual chances of inflicting critical hits. Your character will die after suffering a deadly injury. Wow, that's really tough. You know why it's tough? Because in the red text below, it says choosing this difficulty is not recommended for the players not familiar with the Pathfinder system, as well as the Pathfinder Kingmaker battle system. The enemies will not forgive any mistakes made during combats, and your character's builds will be no less than perfect. That's pretty tough. I'm not sure if I want to head down that route. And definitely not the unfair. I don't even need to read that, because choosing this difficulty is not recommended for the players not familiar with the Pathfinder system, as well as Pathfinder Kingmaker. And I just started, so we have a couple choices. Either story, to just make sure we have fun in the story, or normal, to make sure we do an interesting run here. That's a tough choice. Because if we're just trying to get the story and have a fun playthrough, we can do story, and then we can just make choices and not worry too much. That way we won't have to do much pausing and so on and so forth. But normal, that's a little bit different, I think normal is what I'm leaning toward, but story, if we want to zoom through this bad boy, that's the way to do it. Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut and do the normal thing. But the other side of me says story is a good choice. Well, maybe we do a story run, because I'm brand new to this thing. And then maybe we do a normal run. I'm not really sure right now. We have a couple of choices. What do you think, Bear? Story or normal? You know what? Let's make it tough. Let's go through to normal. Let's go through it. Let's make our choice now. We are deciding to go into normal mode, which is the first mode that we're going to ever try playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. And one thing I did do beforehand is I decided to create a new character. I don't want to go with any of the presets, although they do look really tempting. That guy's pretty cool. Hedwig the Resolute is a human fighter, is deadly with his flail. He skillfully uses his shield for both attack and defense. An experienced mercenary, Hedwig makes a point of never joining an ignoble cause, no matter how good the pay is. He towers over the battlefield like a mountain, protecting his comrades with all his might. So he's a protector, so I assume he's a tank, shield type character. You've got a class as fighter. Next gentleman, his role is paladin. His role is melee. Malaku, the deliverer, is a human paladin of Iomade, the goddess of justice. His two-handed sword is a formidable weapon on its own, but with Iomede's blessing it becomes a devastating tool of retribution used to bring the forces of evil to justice. Having witnessed too much of the world's malice, Malaku swore to never lay down arms so long as there are innocents to save and wicked to smite. Interesting. Violin, Ranger. Roll Archer. Violin the Daring is an elven ranger, a child of the woodlands who boasts the ability to put an arrow through the squirrel's eye at 100 paces. She prefers the joy of hunting over bloody fights, but while she's never eager to start any conflict, who would harm her or her friends may find themselves dead before the fight has begun. Check this guy out. Gemar the Bright is a human sorcerer with draconic blood flowing through his veins. Even as a child, he knew a bright future lay ahead of him. An expert in evocation and fire magic, he prefers to keep his distance from enemies, lest he soil his hands with their ashes. When the situation starts to grow dark, Gemar is always ready to light things up with a burst of flame from his fingers. We have Yadmilla. Her class is Cleric. Her role is Healer. Yadmilla the Clement is a halfling clerk of Serenre, the Sun Goddess. Her prayers both heal allies and support them in battle. Among wars, plagues, and other calamities, Yadmilla strides like a merciful angel, treating wounds and soothing pain. She is adamant in her goal of bringing her goddess's light to the darkest corners of the world. All of these are noble choices, but I will ultimately decide to create a new character. You have all these wonderful choices here, really well painted, very reminiscent of the D&D Pathfinder art that you usually see. Back in the day, they used to be, actual paintings. Now, this digital art really has caught up. It's really beautiful, really well done. But I think we're going to do this fun thing, which is basically go in, and if we can find it, we have a preloaded character. And I believe there's this gentleman called John de Mayuga who created this, in honor of an old comic book in the 1970s, written and illustrated in the Philippines called Panday. Panday is the word in Tagalog, which is the language, in the northern part of the Philippines in Luzon, for blacksmith. And this blacksmith's name in the comic book was Flavio. And, sounds interesting enough name to call him Flavio. So I think we're going to call him Flavio. We'll get to that in a second. Here's where we have our cool options here. I'm going to go with human because he's a human. Human. Let's see what a human does. Race traits. +2 to 1 ability score at creation. The character gets a +2 bonus to an ability of their choice. Feat. Skilled. So feat is an acquired ability. Feat is an ability the character has mastered. Feats often allow characters to circumvent rules or restrictions. Characters gain 1 feat at the first level and every 2 levels thereafter. Humans receive a bonus feat at first level. Skilled. Humans gain an additional skill rank at first level and 1 additional rank whenever they gain a level. Interesting. Well, this sounds very D&D. Humans possess exceptional drive and a great capacity to endure and expand, and as such are currently the dominant race in the world. Their empires and nations are vast, sprawling things, and the citizens of these societies carve names for themselves with the strength of their sword arms and the power of their spells. Humanity is best characterized by its tumultuousness and diversity, and human cultures run the gamut from savage but honorable tribes to decadent, devil-worshipping noble families in the most cosmopolitan cities. Human curiosity and ambition often triumph over their predilection for a sedentary lifestyle, and many leave their homes to explore the innumerable forgotten corners of the world, or lead mighty armies to conquer their neighbors simply because they can. Stormfarmers, you know what? I think my kids are gonna be playing Team Fortress 2, but I might drop in every once in a while. I'm no good at those games. I'm actually fairly decent at Overwatch, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can throw that in. But I'm going to be focusing on the role-playing games, the RPGs and the MMORPGs. The massive multiplayer oriented role-playing games. So, let me finish this description. The physical characteristics of humans are as varied as the world's climes, from the dark-skinned tribesmen of the southern continents to the pale and barbaric raiders of the northern lands. Humans possess a wide variety of skin colors, body types, and facial features. Generally speaking, humans' skin color assumes a darker hue, the closer to the equator that they live. That's very, very reminiscent of real life. So that's not bad. You know, that's not a bad choice. It's very close to the profile picture that I decided to pull off the internet. Again, shout out to John Dimayuga. He's an artist online. Let's try to make him look similar to our gentleman. That seems a little beigey. We have to go from like fair. It's a little darker. That seems pretty close. Is he big like that, or is he... You know what? Our dude's pretty muscular in the picture, but this guy's pretty muscular. Everybody probably goes with a really thick build, so I'm gonna go with the athletic, more slender build. Yes, we will be playing World of Warcraft. We will eventually get to World of Warcraft Stormfarmers, and we'll mix it in. We don't want to bore ourselves by playing the same game over and over again. And I hear that when you stream, and I've streamed for the first time, that there becomes, static shock and all of that. So let's try to figure this out. You get a little bored. Let's check this out. Hairstyle. Beard. That gentleman's got a little bit of a ponytail. Not sure. That guy's got a scruffy haired look. You know what? Let's go with a... I'm going to take a chance here. This is probably the safest, but... we're going to go with the rat tail thing. Because from the front, he looks the same. Let's check it out. Again, we're going to choose fighter. Of all of these fighter choices, I'm going to pick two-handed fighter. All of these sound really cool, but I think, first of all, we want to make sure that fighters, our class specifically in fighter, we do have, the generic fighter. We do have the Eldori defender. These guys seem like duelist types. We have the Tower Shield Specialist. This is definitely a tank, a defender. Or we can do a two-handed fighter. And I really want a damage deal. And I think that's really, really super important. Some of these feats, strong grip. Second level, two-handed fighter gains a +1 bonus to CME. Let's see. Alright. Really don't know what CMD and CMB are. Gonna have to look that up after this. Whenever a two-handed fighter attacks with a weapon from this group, he gains a +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls. Ooh, pile driver. I didn't know that there was some serious wrestling action here. Backswing. Okay. Pow. Like, hopefully the backswing is like a backhanded slap, because that would be so much fun. But I know that it's just the backswing of the sword. It would have been cool to see that. At third level, when a two-handed fighter makes a single attack. Let's see. Alright. Well, here we go. Let's select our ability scores. This is where we really roll and figure out what kind of character we've got. Now, I'm thinking he's going to be strength based. Not much dexterity. Charisma. A lot of choices here. See our skills: intelligence based, lore based, class based. So they know about the world or nature. These are skills. Athletics is strength. Persuasion is charisma. Let's play around here. Let's make them a little stronger, a little smarter. I'm not going to sit here and theory craft. I have a couple builds that I've been looking at, but I think what I really want to do is make sure that we have some fun here. See, they say that's great. Recommended ability. Strength, Constitution. We have a few options. knowledge of the world. Knowledge of the world. This skill represents a character's knowledge about people's systems, make civilizations run, historical events that make societies what they are today. Your character's knowledge world skill, it enables you to create or detect forgeries, decipher writing, identify monsters, recall knowledge about geography, history, people, and places. I don't want any negative bonuses in anything. I don't. Persuade is a class skill, so you can use intimidation. So, skill represents an ability to activate magic items even if you're not otherwise trained in their use. Your character's use magic device skill enables you to activate wands and scrolls you would normally be unable to use, equip magic items that you would normally be prohibited from equipping, and avoid the negative consequences. You know what? Change others' attitudes, create diversions, and gather information, intimidate, lie, and so on. Now that makes him like a bit of a rogue character. I mean, does he look like in that picture? He doesn't look like one of those guys that... I think I'm going to play it safe there. I'm going to go with strength at 17. Modifier is really strong. His constitution at a +2. His dexterity, +1 there. Give him some intelligence so that he can pull off some tricks. And we'll go from there. I want him to know about the world. Let's see. Do we have everything we need? Well, we need to pick 4 skills. We can definitely do athletics. We're going to have knowledge about the world. They're dexterity based. Charisma. I think we have some choices here. We've got athletics as a feat. Pardon me, I'm setting up things for tomorrow. Let's see, intelligence. You know what? We're gonna make him well-rounded. We're gonna give him a persuasion thing. 1, 2, 3. Delicate manipulation. Yeah, and he knows about magical things. Why the hell not? Yeah. Ah, so the class bonuses, it gives it a bonus. Okay. A +5 in persuasion. You know what? We like persuasion. Persuasion is good. Okay, so here we have our guy. Let's see next. Racial bonus. Let's give him his racial bonus and strength. Why not? Because he's buff, man. Alright, good night, Storm for ours. Alright. So I'm really thinking that we definitely have to do... Wow, these skills look very similar to the ones that... I think I'm definitely gonna figure this out. I have to figure it out. I like saving throws so you can deal with spells, but really when it comes down to it, toughness is always hard. You know, back in the day when I played Neverwinter Nights, toughness was something I really needed. You know, let's take a look at this. You know, because what's good about toughness, it gives you extra hit points, and that's really hard. It's really hard to turn down, you know, especially when you're creating a brand new character, you know. And I am tempted to take weapon focus right away, but you know, it's hard to do weapon focus when you don't know exactly what you want to do. Acquired ability. How do we unselect? Don't know. You gain +3 for every hit die you possess beyond 3. You gain an additional +1 hit point if you have more than 3 hit die. You gain +1 points whenever you gain hit die, such as whenever you gain a level. You know, I have to do toughness, because if I don't do toughness, power attack's a must. And I want to do a weapon focus, but they're asking me to pick a weapon focus. Now, which weapon should I focus on? We have a Bardiche, a Battle Axe, Earthbreaker, a Falchion. I need a two-handed weapon. You know, Warhammer's pretty darn cool. You know, but this... If I get a weapon focus now, it almost pins me down. You can choose Unarmed Strike, or if you're a spellcaster, melee or ranged touch attack as your weapon for the purpose of this feat. You gain a +1 bonus on all attack rolls. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies a new type of weapon. Applies to a new type of weapon. I need some kind of two-handed weapon. You know, it's hard to turn down the greatsword. Gotta be a greatsword wielding dude. But you know, that'd be very difficult to pull off. A lot of choices to make. All right. Lots of options. Now, which should I begin with? This is what... No, well, we could stop here and figure it out. Thank you so much for everything, guys. We'll continue the stream later, and we'll be right back. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna have my son take a look at all of this while I go to the restroom. Here. You can look at the game if you want. Here you go.
What's up, people? I am Mark Jr. For this game. Today, I'm just gonna be chilling officially. Too loud. Oh, alright. You know what? My actual name is Storm4Z, whatever. Storm4Z is my actual name. Just call me Zed for now on, okay? And ignore what I said earlier. That's actually not my first name. I was just kidding, and I promise you, I was just kidding for the first one, okay? So, for such games such as my dad playing Pathfinder right now, I'm gonna be playing games such as maybe Street Fighter 5, with my brothers, Eric McFly and Easy E, probably. They're my two younger brothers, such as like that, okay? So maybe we can do such really good things. Playing games, Team Fortress 2. I'm gonna be mostly playing Team Fortress 2 because I've been playing it for like a month, I believe. And probably some Fortnite with my brothers. We're gonna switch back and forth. Or we're gonna play like one whole video stream of just us only. So probably the first game I'm gonna start off with is Team Fortress 2 maybe. And hey Nicholas, how's it going? I mean not Nicholas, I mean Nick, I think. No, sorry, I was thinking my another guy in my school. Hey Nick, Glode. How's it going? Text back if you hear this message. So, yeah, my brothers are gonna be playing Fortnite and all. My McFly and Easy E are gonna be playing games such as Fortnite, Overwatch, Street Fighter 5, beat each other. Someone's gonna beat them. Maybe I beat them. Maybe they beat me. Maybe it's a tie. Whatever. So I hope everything goes well. Okay, let me see what my dad's playing right now. Okay, we're about playing like we're playing again. My dad's playing Pathfinder. I'm not touching it because I don't want to ruin his progress on the game for Pathfinder. So let's see. He's on level 1, weapon focus. Weapons: battle axe, bite, claw, club, dagger, dart, whatever. I think he's still choosing his weapons. Oh yeah, they're choosing weapon focus where they want to master at, and bull rush, armor, focus, dodge. All of that. I see. Well, hope you guys have a good time, because very soon I'm going to go to sleep, because I have school tomorrow and a lot of personal things tomorrow. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a good time. I'm chatting for a while. I really hope you had a good time. I'm probably going to let it over to my dad, because I can't stay up for too long. And here's my dad, right here. Eat splits. It's having a good time chatting with you guys. See ya later.
Alright, I guess we're switching back. I had to do my thing nature called, so off we go. Peace out. So it's time for, you know what, it's getting late, so let's try ending the stream now, and we'll continue where we left off tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.